Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Huncho coming back with another YouTube video for you guys. Today I'm going to be going over the trades that we took this week. I'm not going to go over all the trades, but mainly the trades that we took on Thursday and Friday because I took a lot of unnecessary plays this week, and I feel like I overtraded, and that's something I really want to work on this week and just cut down on the amount of trades that I take. Just shoot for 1-2 good plays a day, guys. And if you get one good one, just step away and just enjoy your dub, right? But I'm gonna try to make this video pretty quick and just go ahead and right into it. So Thursday, guys, it was I think we went 1 for 3, which is not good. So I'm gonna recap, the mistakes, the losses, and not just the dubs. Okay, so one thing I did want to share with you guys is these morning spy analysis I started doing this week. I personally find them a little bit useful for me because that way I can have some sort of game plan, and also I can share with you guys. And I personally think that it's a more helpful because that way you guys can see the key pivots, which is basically my strategy that I take my trades off my key pivots. Because when I post the charts, I feel like people see all these lines and stuff and they don't really know what they're looking for. So let me know if this is actually useful, guys, or if there's anything you want me to add to it. Yeah, so let me know because I personally think that they're better because they're more detailed and gives you a little bit more insight of what I'm looking for the day. Okay, so yeah, so what did we write on Thursday morning, which was we said that we were watching the 543 range. The reason why we were watching it because it got swept during after hours and it's still holding strong around the range in the pre-market. So, and we saw 2 rejections off of our key pivots, so we were also watching those areas as well. But my main game plan was if we were to hold around this 543, I'm looking for a potential pump. And also we listed our key pivots. So the first play that we took, which was the 554 calls, this was at 9:59. Why did we take this play? The reason why I took this play, guys, is because look, we saw this hold in this area, right, in the pre-market and after hours and near our 543 range. When I see price dancing around a certain range, guys, I'm looking for a move. Okay, I'm looking for something to break out. Okay, to the upside, to the downside. You know the play. Okay, so but I was biased towards the upside because we got the dump after the news when Trump talked during after hours, and we were holding up our 543 range. So I was looking for a relief bounce. I wasn't necessarily bullish, but I was looking for a bounce to play. Okay, at least towards our 549 range or 550, and we could get a nice top snipe into the downside, right? So let's go ahead and look at the trade that we took in what time. So it was at 9:59, so right at 10 a.m. The reason why we took this trade, which is off of this candle, we took this off of our 544.26, which at the moment was our support area. And obviously, since we got the pump off of the open off of the 549 perfectly, we completely ignored the rejections off of the 547 key pivot and our 546 level, and we were like, oh man, this is a pullback. So I was biased because the way this area was holding up, I knew, and I knew I wanted to see some form of pump around this area. Okay, so I went in calls off of this bounce. But at the end of the day, guys, look, there was low volume, and 2, we weren't even above our VWAP in the 90 EMA. So this wasn't necessarily the best trade we could have taken, especially when you're seeing these strong rejections twice near your key pivots. You want to wait for a little bit more confirmation, which is I paid the price for not being patient and waiting for a good play. So yeah, that's the price I paid on that play. I was biased and I was holding a little bit longer than I should because we were above our key pivot and I wanted to see a bounce, but we ended up not seeing it until later. The second play we took, guys, was the 548 calls. This should have been the play. Okay, now we took this at 11:13 a.m. Yes, this play did end up going in our favor, but I personally preferred a entry at our key pivot instead of this area right here, because I personally don't like seeing nice pumps like that and then getting in, because in my mind I don't feel like I'm getting in appropriately. I feel like I'm chasing, even though that's not really a huge move, but I feel like I'm chasing. I didn't. If I don't get my entry where I want it, guys, I feel like I'm chasing. That's it. So that's a little bit of a struggle of mine that I just don't really like getting into plays, or if I do, I'm just not as confident as I would be if I got in above, or a nice bounce off of my key pivot, or reject off of my key pivot. So that was a little bit of a little struggle that I was going through on Thursday, because I took a bunch of L's, especially the day before and the week like throughout the week before Thursday. So I was a little bit discouraged. I wasn't as confident that this was gonna play out. But at the end of the day, guys, look, you gotta play your setups, okay? That's what's gonna pay you. It's not about you being right or wrong. It's about you playing your setups and following your plan, okay? So look, we saw this nice accumulation above our key pivot, and we could have taken calls off of this, especially off of this bounce, and could have just had a nice play here. Because worst case scenario, what? You close under the key pivot. It's a low risk, high reward trade. So that's even though this trade went green, it was still a little bit of a sloppy entry, because we ended up going into like the next. We didn't even wait for the candle to close. We just went in right after this candle closed, and just right when this opened, we just went in because we opened above the 90 MA. And when we saw this immediately when we got in, we saw a little bit of red, and we saw rejection off of the zone, especially near our key pivot. So I was a little bit like, damn, man, this is gonna go south again. But we just ended up holding above our EMAs, right, keeping our cool, and just letting it play out, playing the range, because we're above our key pivot. You know, we still had room to the upside, and we ended up hitting our key pivot, and we took some scales right here, and just riding it all the way up to 546. And yeah, this trade ended up going around almost 100%. So this was a 93% play. So it was a good trade, and a little bit choppy climb up, but you know, we got a nice play here, but not necessarily the entry I wanted. So that's just something I really wanted to share with you guys, even though it ended up playing in our favor, but didn't get it where I wanted it at. Okay, so that's a little bit of insight that I'll give to you guys. And then we're going to go ahead and look at our last play on Thursday. 551 calls. This was I believe a lotto play, or I added. Okay, wait, what happened here? Oh, okay, so I still held my calls, right? I sold majority, but I added 551 calls because I wanted to see that pump, right? When I saw this pump move to the upside, I wanted to see a pullback, and boom, and hit 547 again, the higher day. Look, guys, seeing moves like this, especially you seeing another reject, when you see this, elevator down, these are not necessarily the best plays to take, even if it's around your key pivot, because key pivots, guys, are areas of interest that I look for. I look for a reaction near those areas, okay? I don't treat it as, if it's above, I'm in calls, full pour. No. I look for a reaction. I look for a nice, good close or a bounce off of the level, and then I enter. All right? But if it's glitchy around there, if it's slow, if it's not looking nice, it's not a good idea to take it. I took it because my dumbass was biased, okay? That's what happened. All right? I was biased, and you pay the price. I'm above my key pivot, so I'm like, okay, boom. And it did end up going like 20%, but I'm not selling my position at 20%. Okay, looking at these rejects and these wicks, I still kept holding, and ended up just leaking, and we ended up paying the price for that. This wasn't a good quality trade, guys. This was low volume. We were under the EMAs. We were rejecting, especially off of our resistance level. We couldn't even hold up above our key pivot. So yeah, horrible trade, horrible day for me. Like a lot of you guys, it wasn't the best day. It wasn't the best week. All right, so really discouraged from Thursday. Now, Friday, guys. When I give out lousy plays, guys, let me tell you guys something. Let me tell you something about Huncho. Huncho gets butthurt when he gives lousy plays. All right? Because, look, I want to be known as a trader that is transparent. I want to be known as someone that, look, I'm confident in my plays. I'm confident in my levels. But a lot of times, there's ego involved in everybody. That you always want to be right. That's not going to happen, okay? You're going to take losses. This is the reality, guys. Sometimes I take losses. I've only been training for about 2 years. For like 2 years, almost 2 years and a half. I'm not a guru. I don't have the holy grail, okay? So I'm just simply sharing you my journey. That's it. This is documenting purposes. This is not for me to be like, oh, I'm the guru. Follow me. Follow every single play. You're gonna be a millionaire because of Huncho. No, we're all gonna win together because we're all growing. We're sharpening our craft. We're working together every single day and mastering our craft. And the way that we do this is by recapping our losses. That's the only way we're gonna do it. Okay, so. I got butthurt Thursday, and I was like, hell no, man. I'm coming back next week. Screw this. But I was like, hold on a second, man. I never take days off. So I'm going to go ahead and look at these levels, and I'm going to have a game plan like every other day, and I'm not going to let my soft feelings get in the way. I'm going to look for a banger. Boom. All right. We got a nice leak overnight. Again. Power leak. Back to our main key pivots, which was around our 518.34 area. Okay. I believe that this was posted. This wasn't posted on it was posted on Central Capital, which will open soon, guys. Don't worry. Just working on a couple of things. Okay. This was Friday, guys. This is our SPY analysis. So what was the recap? Big flush overnight into our key pivot 518.33. Looks like it's holding there. Watching it closely if we revisit. Game plan. Looking for a pump to short while we're under 531.58. Simple. Okay, I'm looking for a pump to short. Because I learned my lesson. Okay? The market's bearish right now. So we're looking for pumps to short. Okay? Alright. Then I posted my key pivots. What happened here, guys? We're holding up above this range. 518.34. I'm looking at the 15 minute. Because that's how I like to chart. I'm looking at the 15 minute. We're holding up this range. And we're chopping in between 518 and 525.74. In the pre-market, we got a reject off of our 525.74. So that was a level that I was looking at. And I was looking for a pump to short. That pump was in the pre-market. Okay. So once we got that leak off of our 525.74, I was like, oh heck yeah. This is gonna be fun. Because you don't know when the play is gonna happen, or if it already did, or if it's gonna happen again. So at this point, guys, look, I was just playing Huncho's price action reading. I was just playing my vision here. Whatever I was seeing going on, I was like, screw it, bro. I'm playing this. We got the reject off our key pivot. When I see this on the 5 minute, I'm like, look, this right here, what's going on, is not a bullish play. Because we get this nice push to the upside and then the reject off our key pivot twice, guys. 1 and then 2. Not even 2, but look, you can count these 5 minute candles as one of them. Look, you got a sign right here. Boom. Another sign. Boom. Another sign. Boom. Another sign. Boom. What are you waiting for, guys? You're talking about a move to the downside, okay? And then look, you get another pullback, and not even rejecting the key pivot, but rejecting one of our resistance levels, 524.23. We didn't even take puts off of here, guys. I should have sniped the top. I could have, but I didn't. But look, this was a little bit of a better trade. Okay, we got confirmation. We didn't get our entry, but we got confirmation. Okay, we got a reject off of VWAP and our 90 MA, so we ended up taking puts right here. So we took puts, and this look a lot more bearish than bullish to me. So I was like, look, I think we're gonna break lower day and we're gonna hit our key pivot because we got a nice, signal based off of the rejections of the key pivots and the upside. So boom, I'm looking for a move down, and we took puts off of here, and boom, we wrote this all the way down, guys, to our last key pivot. We rolled this all the way down to our 5. And like I always say, guys, you gotta scale at key pivots. Key pivots, I always scale. I always scale positions. Okay, I never hold this whole 400%. So don't think that I'm a degenerate and I just hold it 1,000%. No, majority of my position, more than half of my position, is sold around 70, 80%, 100%, depending how the price action is or the volume is. But yeah, I scale, guys. You gotta scale. Cause look, guys, you get these little nice sweeps. You don't know if it keeps pumping or if it's gonna keep pumping. Look, another pump up for our next key pivot. So, these are areas of interest, guys. All right. So, at the end of the day, you can scale and just hold the rest under the EMAs. We rode this all the way down to our 510.28. Hit this key pivot to the penny. Look at this, guys. Perfect. You could even buy calls off of here, off of key pivots, guys. If you miss my plays, guys, just look at the key pivots, and you could end up banking yourself. Okay. So, look, 5:10:28. What time was this posted? 9:17 a.m. before market open, guys. This isn't fake. It's not edited. Look, this is Huncho's SPY scan. Okay, this is my morning scan. Look at that, to the penny. Once we hit that play, I'm out for the day. I don't care what the hell happened. I was just looking at my levels. I personally think that I wouldn't have even wanted to trade after I saw a move like that. So good thing that we caught that. If you caught that with me, congrats. That was a good play. But as you guys can see, you could have even bought calls down here, even right here above our key pivots, and got a nice pay right there. But yeah, that was really it, guys, for this week. That I really wanted to recap and just show you guys a little bit of what was going on this week. I'm going in a little bit more patient. Just gonna hold off a bit and just look for solid plays. That's my goal this week, guys. Like I said, I'm not the best trader. I'm not a pro. I'm not a guru, guys. I'm just sharing you my perspective, my journey, and my growth. Because once we make it, we're gonna be able to look back at this and we're gonna see how far, we went in this game, and it's gonna be nice to look back and look at our beginnings and how hard we worked in the beginnings, and dedicating our time to look at our mistakes and recapping and working on our craft, guys. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. If you guys want to see more of these, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Stay tuned. Follow me on Twitter. It's HunchoNet. Follow me. And if you want my plays and my alerts, and also I'm in the FU Money Club as well. But I'm also going to be working on opening up my own Discord, in the near future. So stay tuned. Follow me on Twitter, and for access to that, which I think is going to be really, really dope. But yeah, Central Capital to the moon, guys. Stay tuned. Huncho out. And I'll see you guys on the next one.